Okay guys, I'm going to be picking my scent of the day from this fine selection of fragrances I have in front of me, but I'm going to do it blind. I'm going to have this blindfold on top of me and I'm going to go for it, alright? I'm just going to do it now. Alright, so let's have a look. Let's choose this one. I'm not sure if you guys can see it. What did I pick? Did I go for a good one? I'm going to go for 2 sprays. We're going 1, 2. Smells a bit too manly for me. Surprise! This video is going to be a short one on the topic of blind buying. If you don't know what that is basically the process of buying a fragrance without ever trying it first. So your nose is going in blind. This is a topic becoming more relevant in today's world now that a lot of people are in lockdown and people are buying things online without trying it. Blind buying will always be a risky ordeal to some extent, but this video is designed to minimize that risk as much as possible to make sure you're not wasting your money. I'll take you through the process that I go through when I'm blind buying a fragrance, and I'll show you guys the best places to purchase fragrances online based on the UK, EU, and North America, as well as some worldwide options in general. Let's get into the video. Class is in session. The first thing that would make me even consider blind buying a fragrance would be around the hype a scent gets. That'll either be through word of mouth, through the fragrance community online, or it's because it's a brand that you respect in general. So make sure you guys are watching videos of your favorite fragrance reviewer, which is going to be Jen Scents, and see what they recommend, what category the fragrance is in, and why they're hyping them up. See if it's something that appeals to you. After that, we then use a fragrance collector's best friend, fragrantica.com, which if you haven't used it before, it's a fragrance-related website that's sort of like an encyclopedia of thousands of different fragrances on the market, which uses the community to chip in and give you information about the fragrance. A great thing about Fragrantica is that users can give a rating out of 5 for fragrances. So see something you like, and as long as it doesn't have a horrendous score, you're going to be more likely to blind buy it. For me personally, I'm going for fragrances that get at least a 4 out of 5 if I'm going to consider blind buying. After that, I then look at the price of the fragrance. Obviously, if it's something like Creed Aventus, $260, I'm going to be more hesitant in buying it without trying. But if it's something cheap like, let's say, Encre Noir Extreme, which you can get for £30 on Latino, I'm going to be less scared to go for that purchase. In general, to make your blind buying adventures less risky, always try to bring the price down. That means using discounters online. Now, for every discounter website, you'll usually see some sort of review insisting that they got a fake or got a bad product. Some people are paranoid. Most businesses aren't going to risk their reputation selling fakes. But if you're somebody who wants that peace of mind, then ignore discounters. Go for your mainstream brands like Nordstrom in America or Debenhams in the UK, or buy directly from that brand's website itself. And even if the product is more expensive on the original brand's website, it's actually not a bad option for blind buying. For example, if you go to somewhere like Dior, you want to buy something from their private line. If I want to get Dior Oud Ispahan, which is over £200, I can actually buy a full bottle, and what they will do is they will send me a free little mini sample of that same fragrance along with it, because if I try that sample and I don't actually like it, I can then return that bottle with the packaging not touched, fully unopened, and I'll get the refund completely free, which makes blind buying a lot more safe. But let's face it, if you're going to buy an expensive niche scent, you're going to do some research on the notes. When you're starting out in collecting, it can be difficult to know what different notes smell like. This is where we go back to Fragrantica, and using my friend Jesse's tactic, we use the note breakdowns of fragrances we already own, and we get an appreciation of the notes we can smell and see if the fragrance that we want to buy has anything that correlates with it. For example, let's say my usual daily scent is Hugo Boss Bottled Intense, and my date night fragrance of choice is Dolce & Gabbana The One Eau de Parfum, both popular fragrances. Now, let's say I want to splash out, get a fragrance like Parfum de Marly's Layton, which is over £200. I look at the latest note breakdown and I think to myself, there are some things on here I'm not too certain how they smell. Then we compare. Let's look at Dolce & Gabbana The One. They both share a cardamom note. Using that, you can smell the one and see how it's spicy in its own way, and you can expect that Layton will share that similar spicy note in there. But at the same time, the one has amber, which gives it its sweetness, whilst Layton has vanilla, so you can expect a different sort of sweetness between the two fragrances. If you don't know much about amber, again, Fragrantica is great. Just click on any note and you can get a brief description of what it smells like. Then we go to Hugo Boss Bottled. We see that they share notes of apple and vanilla. You can expect that same fruity note to be in Layton, as well as a similar type of sweetness now. Of course, this exercise doesn't give you the full picture, but it gives you an appreciation of what to expect. And obviously, niche fragrances use much higher quality ingredients than designer fragrances in general. But as far as I know, these are the only tactics that exist to blind buy a fragrance. Just make sure you're buying from an authentic seller, which applies to Amazon or eBay, which people worldwide can always purchase from. For me, if I'm going to be purchasing from these kind of marketplace websites, I always make sure the feedback seller rating is above 98% and they have thousands of reviews. I hope this helped, guys. Let me know in the comments, was this a useful topic? And do you have any other tactics people can use to make blind buying less risky? I highly recommend our video, which complements this topic, where I describe to you 10 fragrances that I think are more safe to blind buy. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Class dismissed.